Just yesterday, last night, I watched a movie that had some truth in regard to frequencies that I kind of wanted to elaborate on. So we're gonna talk about frequencies. We're gonna talk about radio, and we're gonna start with a really quick writing from my book called "Stating the Obvious," and it reads: "To control a generation, you have to speak at the frequency they grew up on." I also want to note that my choice of words with control is neither a good or bad thing. Everything always depends on how you use it. So you can control a generation in a sense that you are educating them, or you can control a generation for evil agendas. It just depends on how you use it, always. Um, just like how they say knowledge is power, that's not necessarily the whole truth. Uh, Action with knowledge is power. Knowledge and just having knowledge is almost useless if you don't take action with what you know. So, what do they mean by frequency? And what do I mean by you can control a generation by speaking at the frequency that they grew up on? Think of frequency as a language. If you want a Spanish person to understand you and all they know is Spanish, you have to speak Spanish. You can't speak English to a person who only knows Spanish. If I was to say right now that we collectively are the universe and God is nature, certain individuals will understand or disagree with what I just said depending on their frequency. Whether it's the truth or not, everything depends on your frequency. So what I just said may be like another language to somebody else, but individuals who have already thought about these kind of mystic, philosophical, religious truths will understand what I just said. To give like an example, if I was to explain how to upload a video on any social media platform to an older generation versus a newer generation, the younger generation will understand how to upload a video quicker than an older generation, most likely because the newer generation grew up at a certain frequency where technology rules the world. Regardless, the frequency that humanity needs to be on is the frequency of truth. Like I said previously, knowledge and taking action. Knowledge and action are useless without the other. When you take action with the knowledge of truth, use it for good, because we already see the ways in which things can pan out when it's used for evil. We already see what knowledge of human nature with powerful action used for evil and greed produces, and that is war. War, whether literally, psychologically, or spiritually. Lastly, I want to say that truth is not confusing. The truth may be hard to understand at first because of the things you may have to unlearn.